Hi, welcome to the handover video for Sweeney the Swift Escape 686. Let's show you around. Start off with the fuel tank. It takes diesel, just put the key in and it'll release the cap. It'll be handed over with a full tank of diesel, so please bring it back with a full tank. Steps manual, so give it a little lift and a pull and it'll come out, and the same to put it back, just lift it, a little push and it'll spring back in. Next up we've got the gas locker, so both thumbs pushed in to open it. Here you'll find two gas bottles, there'll always be at least one full one. The electric cable will also be in here, and there's a hose pipe for filling the water up and a selection of clips to fit different taps. Just turn the gas on the top of the bottle, you'll see there's a round valve. You turn that anti-clockwise, that'll open your gas up. And to turn it off, just turn it clockwise. The gas also has to be turned off legally when driving, so please do make sure you turn that off. If the bottle runs out, you can use this spanner to undo this valve on the hose and connect it to the other bottle. Obviously make sure the bottle's turned off before you do that, and if you do change the gas bottle during your trip, please just let us know when you get back so that we can swap it over. Next, if you've opted for the barbecue add-on, that's where it plugs in, and we'll show you how to do that when you collect it. If you are on electric hookup, there's also a 230 volt socket here, and again that will only work when you're on electric hookup. To fill up the water tank, you just take this cap off and use either the hose pipe, or there's a large watering can inside as well in that hole, and then as it's filling, just keep an eye on the screen inside, which we'll show you shortly, and try your best not to let it overflow. To empty the waste, there's a valve down here. Just hold it with one hand, give it a turn, and the dirty water will come out. There's also one on the other side, so if you're parked on a slope, just decide which one's going to work best. And around to the other side. This is the flue cover for the gas boiler, so if you are off-grid and you're heating water with gas, just give it a pull at the bottom. That's got to be off whenever you're using the gas boiler, and as soon as you finish with the boiler, just stick the cap back on again. Then we've got the leisure battery and the electric hookup. Don't need to worry about the battery, that looks after itself. Your hookup is there, and as I said before, the cable will be left in the gas cupboard for you. And it just clips in. Make sure it's sat in nice and snug, and then this cable goes in this little groove here, which can be a bit fiddly. Close it and make sure it's locked shut. And for the toilet, to remove the cassette, just make sure your orange clip lifts up and slides out, and then you can pull the handle out to wheel it along. To empty it, just turn that round, take your grey cover off, and as you're tipping it out, if you push the orange button, that'll release any air that's trapped in. If you check the handbook, it'll tell you what to do next, depending on whether you're coming home or carrying on with your trip. And that's everything for the outside. We'll go inside. Okay, so coming inside, you've got your main habitation panel. First thing you need to do is press the power button, and then that shows us at the moment we're running off leisure battery. If you are on electric hookup, you will also have this little mains light illuminated. That turns your awning light on and off outside, and this one in the doorway. The lights will power up all your main lights, and then you can turn them off individually with their own switches. The water pump turns the water on. When you turn the tap, you will then hear the pump priming up. Please do just make sure you turn that pump off if you are leaving the van unattended. Please don't ever touch the battery select, because you'll end up potentially running out of power when you start a battery and being stuck. And the view levels shows you that all batteries are currently charged and charging off the solar. You've also got the water levels there. The van will be handed over about half full, or full if you told us you're going off grid, and the wastewater should be empty. Occasionally it does show that it's full when it's not, just if the probes have got a little bit mucky, so if you know you've emptied it and it's still showing full, it's fine. There's also an extractor fan in the ceiling. This is the remote for it. Just press the power button and you'll hear it come on and start extracting. It's good to use when you're cooking. Moving around, there is also a microwave up above. The plug comes out down here and plugs in. That will only work when you're on 230 volt electric hookup. All your plates, bowls, cups, etc. are in there. There's enough for 6 people. And then moving down to the fridge. The fridge will run from electric hookup, gas, or the alternator when the engine's running. All you need to do is hold the grey button and wait for the icon to flash, and you can choose either the plug socket, the alternator, or the gas, and then press your grey button. Make sure you got 3 bars flashing and press the grey again. If you are on electric hookup, this will no longer flash, it'll show solid. If you're running it on gas, it might take a couple of goes to get it to light, just if there's some air in the pipes. If it's failed to light, this button will flash red like it is doing now. Just turn it off and back on again. Also, the blinds all around the van, they're all exactly the same. Pull them down to close them and they'll lock in place. And the same with those blinds. When you do lift them up, please keep hold of them and let them go up, otherwise they'll spring off and can get damaged. Okay, for the toilet, there's a grey lever down here. If you pull that towards you, that'll open the hatch. Do what you need to do. Press the blue button to flush. And then once all the water's gone down, just close the hatch again. There's also a fitted shower and an extractor in the ceiling. And that just winds open if you're having a shower, or if you just want to get a bit of fresh air in there. And there's an extractor fan as well. And this cord turns the light on and off. For the hot water, if you are on electric hookup, it should already be heating as soon as you plug the hookup in. If not, we use this controller down here. So just make sure you've got the flue cover off that we showed you earlier, and turn this little dial so the notch is pointing to the flame. And then just watch that LED for a couple of minutes. If it stays green, that means you're heating water. If it turns red, could mean a couple of things. Either the gas isn't turned on, the flue cover's not been taken off, or there's just a bit of air in the pipes. If that happens, just go to off and then back onto the flame again, and it should fire up after 1 or 2 goes. Okay, so for the heating, we've got 2 different options. If you are on electric hookup, you can use electric heating. So with this one, turn the outer ring so the notch is on 1000. That's normally a safe bet. And then your middle ring acts as a thermostat, obviously 1 being the coolest, 9 being the hottest. If you're not on electric hookup, you'll need to use gas to heat the van. These are your gas controls. So you push this knob down, turn it, keep it pressed down, and then use the ignite button here. A couple of presses, and then check the hole down here. If you have a good look down, you'll be able to see the pilot light, whether it's lit or not. You can then use the knob to have it hotter or cooler, and all the way back to turn it off. Once you've got your fire lit, whether it's on gas or electric, you can then use the blown air function. This will just help blow the hot air all around the van. You can either put it to the left and then use the knob above it to set the power of the fans, or you can move it over to the A for auto and just leave it to look after itself, and back in the middle to turn it off. If you are wanting to use the TV, the aerial's here in the cupboard. So if you loosen this nut and loosen the locking collar at the top, the aerial will push upwards, and then once it's up, just keep an eye on the LED on the aerial booster in the back of the wardrobe. If it's still red, just give it a turn, and you can see there it's changing colour. Once you've got a green light, or at least a yellow one, that means you've got a good signal. So you can lock both of the nuts again, and you might just have to retune the TV in the settings menu. If you do put the aerial up, please do just remember to bring it down before you move the van, because it does get quite high. And again, just loosen them both off and back down.